Hi, I was Derek here. I was talking to Vince people. We're talking memory. The kind that helps you to remember what you were just thinking about a little while ago. Not the kind that you remember from 5 years old. Not the kind where you go 442 44473, and repeat it a bunch of times, but rather like here's my thesis. There's three parts to my thesis. Part one, blah blah blah. Part two, blah blah blah. What was my third point again? I don't remember. That shit is a constant challenge for me, where I'm trying to be orderly in my communications, and then I get like three-quarters of the way through it, and I could be literally coming along just fine and being clear in my head sort of where the path is, and then all of a sudden just it's gone. I don't remember what my next thing was. I don't know. It's frustrating, but I get it. It's kind of smoking lots of weed and not sleeping much. It doesn't help.
The other kind of memory isn't all that great either.
I mean, like memory in your childhood and shit.
Or like all the awesome stories that I have.
You mean you don't remember them very well, or you
Right.
remember the narratives well, but you don't actually have memories of the event
I remember that
itself that vivid.
I remember that I have awesome stories. I remember telling them. I don't remember any of them now.
Well,
Right.
there is the thing that I don't know if it's entirely true. I assume everybody's experienced it because that's what they say, the scientists, that is, each time you remember something, either a detail changes or like you remember it a little bit worse, and then you try and fill it in with something that you think is correct. And that happens each time you're trying to remember an event.
I'm really good
I
at
read that a
remembering
few
shit that I don't need.
Right. I mean, I had heard that each time you remember an event, a kitten gets cancer.
times.
Was that wrong? I guess
That's
I
every
was mixing that up with something else. Maybe that's every time you inject a kitten with radioactive material. I think that was it.
fun times in Kansas. Bring your radioactive waste.
Did we just solve kitten cancer by being able to reverse engineer radioactive material and injecting it into cats and curing them of cancer? I think
Well,
we did.
look, it's a simple matter of being humane. Instead of
You
killing the cats,
cool.
instead of killing the cats, we'll just give them all cancer and let them die of natural causes. That's much more humane. Hi, Jordan. Never mind. It's just a joke about the cats, by the way. I'm not going to do that to the
Hi,
cats.
Jordan.
Yeah. So,
You know, it's funny. I was about to say, what are we talking about?
oh, memory. Right. I don't remember either.
Yeah.
I,
Yep.
so
Just a
that's a bit of a frustration for me, not being able to remember shit that I'm talking about midway. However,
Mm.
I think if I did remember stuff midway, then I wouldn't be able to make stuff up off the fly. I think there's got to be a relationship between those two things. That you're either loose so that new shit can come out free and easy, or you're tight so that old shit gets locked down better. What do you think?
You can't be either of those. You can't be either of those things. You can't purposely lock down memories and
No,
expect them to
I don't
be
think
there.
it's purposeful. I think it's type based. I'm saying, like ISFJ, their brain is configured tight so that they keep their past stuff seems very solid to them, but the future stuff seems very like, hey, that's a mushy mess. I don't know what to do with that. Like the NE stuff, and vice versa for ENTP. That's my what's it called? Words I'm saying.
What was the type you were saying
I'm
other
saying
than
like
ENTP?
like ENTPs that what I just said. All that
All
stuff.
right, all right.
All that important stuff.
Nice. Nice. Very on topic of you.
Um,
I mean, just yesterday I remembered some stuff that I didn't remember, you know, like it's hard to remember specific events, especially if you've done it more than one time. Like I had an activity when I was a kid that I would do every Sunday. And I just, I might have been last night or the night before. I can't remember what night I was having these thoughts. But I remembered that I did that activity. and I couldn't remember one specific event. It just kind of seemed like a blur of the activity multiple times.
Get a dry erase board.
How's that going to help?
That I can remember the shit that I need to do.
This is a dry erase board that you just can't erase it. But it continually puts new whiteboard in front of you. So you can just write down your ideas like that.
I have one of those too. My problem is when I make a list in something that I have to get and then open, rarely and then open it.
See,
Right.
I just flipped to a random page of this book, and here is a list of things that I bet you money. I bet you that I didn't do half of these things. 350, wake up, do 50 push-ups, eat 2 hard-boiled eggs, buy a 24-pack of water at gas station with 5-hour energy.
All right, hold on. Wait, let's go back to the push-ups. Why are you instructing yourself to do 50 push-ups?
Wait, what'd you say? Why do I do 50 push-ups?
Yeah.
Well, I like to do 100 push-ups a day, and I kind of stopped for a while, but I just did it again. I started doing it again a couple days ago. So I probably did like.
What do you like about it?
Days, and then I did it this morning. What do I like about it? Well, I'm a skinny guy. I'm trying to eat more and put on some weight.
Well, so you're trying to get cut.
Just trying to not be underweight. I'm like the average weight, but I'm a little taller than everybody else. Average height is like 5'7" or something for a guy, which seems low, but.
What?
Yes, you believe that? Like
You should
5'8",
just wear fake
5'7".
muscles under long sleeve shirts.
They make bodysuits. I used to work out in college where we had an awesome rec center. But that's way too structured of a schedule.
Well, 50 push-ups, dividing it into 2 sets of 25 is easy enough to remember to do. That is.
Yeah. I could never do shit that was on my schedule like that. That's autonomous and there's no repercussions if you don't. But when I got in the routine of it, every second day or whatever, okay. Very good, Jim.
I forget, it might have been Brian Greene that, he's some other kind of scientist, but somebody once did a TED talk about forming small habits, and it's an easier way to remember to do stuff if you make a habit out of it. Like, he said he started it by, this whole thing, I have 100 small habits and these are them, whatever. And he was like, I started out with every time I went to the bathroom, I would do 5 push-ups. And he still does it. He doesn't write it down or anything, but he just made himself do a bunch of small.
Well, that technique worked well for me with cigarettes. I was like, I gotta remember to smoke these things. So I made a habit out of it, and it worked. I don't like the idea of trying to make yourself do physical tasks. You know why I don't like physical tasks? Because they're non-permanent. The work you're doing doesn't stay. It requires maintenance.
Well, yes, it requires maintenance, but the work you do does stay if you continue to pursue that habit. Just like if you smoke cigarettes once every 5 years, you're probably not going to get lung cancer. But if you smoke 5 every 1 day, then you probably are going to get lung cancer.
No, you're not. You're almost certainly not going to get lung cancer. The correlation between cigarette smoking and lung cancer is very weak.
Okay, maybe so.
You might get emphysema, though. Emphysema is a much stronger link.
What? Explain. You said it's not linked to lung cancer, but it's linked to emphysema, which is a stronger lung cancer?
I'm saying it's a stronger link. They say, oh, this will give you lung cancer, this will give you emphysema. There's a minuscule chance it will give you lung cancer. There's a fairly substantial chance if you smoke long enough you'll get emphysema. Emphysema is a real, actual consequence of smoking. The lung cancer link is weak enough to be laughable, and almost all lung cancers are caused by industrial pollutants, not tobacco.
Interesting. I was reading something about marijuana being linked neither to emphysema or to lung cancer, even though you're smoking something.
Right, but it seems to actually be protective against the cigarettes a little bit for me. But The interesting thing about it, of course, is you may have, I don't know how old you are, you might remember those commercials, the anti-smoking commercials where the lady was smoking through a tracheotomy hole in her neck. Do you know what I'm talking about, Tim?
Yeah, yeah, I do remember that.
And do you know
She's
that
like,
smoking doesn't
hello,
cause throat cancer?
don't smoke cigarettes.
And they've since determined that actually, oops, our bad, no link between cigarettes and throat cancer. It turns out it's actually a virus. Oops.
Well, I bet that commercial was very effective either way.
I mean, it was scary. I used to think I was getting throat cancer. When I was young, I was a hypochondriac more. I'd be like, smoke one cigarette and think, I'm getting throat cancer.
Well, my mom's mom, my grandmother passed away when my mom was 19. She smoked cigarettes and she died of lung cancer. So my mom, personally, she finds a link between, I bet if I gave her evidence otherwise, she wouldn't take it because she finds a link on a personal level with smoking and lung cancer.
Well, I mean, I do agree that you are more likely to get lung cancer if you are if you take two control groups with exactly the same thing. One smokes cigarettes, one doesn't. Cigarette smoker is more likely to get lung cancer. And I also have a distant relative who smoked, and I never met the person actually. It was not even a relative. It's like my ex-wife's father's caregiver. It's like that. That's how distant it is. I had shitloads of people smoke in my life because my family was comprised in large part of my mom's generation. That was a big part of the family. They had 8 kids, my grandma's siblings. My childhood was filled with them. They all smoked. None of them got lung cancer. None of them died of even smoking-related illnesses, but probably almost all their deaths got counted as smoking-related illnesses because whatever it is you die of, almost 100% chance they're going to say, oh, smoking contributed to it.
Well, it's easy for them to say that.
I mean, if you're 98 years old and you have a stroke, smoking didn't kill you. You know, it's bullshit.
It didn't kill you, but they could. So you think they're not even in the right to say that it contributed because that's all they're saying?
I'm saying if you are a 98-year-old woman who dies of a stroke, your statistic should go in the column of smokers who experience no critical or no catastrophic health harms from it. You can't smoke for 80 years, die of a non-respiratory problem, and still blame it on cigarettes. But they do. That's how the stats are compiled. If you have a stroke, it's a cigarette-related death.
They say a cigarette could have contributed, and whether it's a stroke or it's lung cancer, they might be right or they might be wrong. I don't know. I agree with you. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they might be right and they might be wrong is right. Just like they might be right about cigarettes causing throat cancer, but they were actually wrong. What? Who knows? Maybe they're wrong about the virus thing. But they seem quite certain about that.
Theory.
What?
Oh, yeah. I said they might be right about the multiverse theory. We don't know about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they might be right isn't a reason to change my behaviors. Unless there's a reason to believe their rightness is substantially more probable than my rightness.
Is this not still a video about memory?
Oh, I totally forgot what the video was about. I forgot we were recording, you know.
We both did, man. Jesus Christ. This video is called Example of Bad Memory.
Well, I mean, like I was saying, you either are able to just sort of fall into the flow of the conversation, you start yammering about shit because you're not worrying about keeping track of stuff, or you're worrying about keeping track of stuff, in which case the conversation is halting and probably boring.
Sure. Hey, Taylor.
Sup? When did you guys get here?
Good fucking question, man. 1997.
Jesus Christ, you're young.
Yeah, haven't you looked at me?
He's a year older than my daughter. She was born in '98, and Kit Kat's is 2 years older than my daughter.
Oh, I was about to say it's a shame your daughter has a boyfriend. Is it?
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of is. I've thought that myself. I already tried. My original plan was to have her hooked up with Zachary, but then she's like, "No, I get to decide who I date." And I'm like, when did that rule come into place? Yeah.
That's funny.
But I would have felt pretty bad because actually I think Thalia was a little tempted in Utah, but she resisted because out of loyalty for her boyfriend. I would have, but I definitely put them in a situation intentionally where it's like, here, you two be around each other. Let's see what happens. So I probably would have felt bad if she had done anything because she did have a boyfriend at the time.
You guys,
But you cut out,
that
Tim.
time, you guys were done.
He wasn't
You got back.
I could hear none of that, Tim.
First National. He's just a douche. I mean,
You guys were in Utah that video you showed me.
Mm-hmm. In Utah.
Yeah. Not very important sentence that got cut out. So, sorry.
Yeah. I don't see much of her. She's supposed to come over yesterday, actually, and she never showed up. She was come over because she wanted me to roll her some joints, and I guess she just figured, if I could go without them. I don't know.
gotta let her
Just link
smoke
her
out
to your
of
video.
a Coke can like the rest of us.
Don't let her what?
Smoke out of a crushed-in Coke can like the rest of us.
Oh no. She. But the thing is, they don't care. Young people don't care about whether their smoking utensil is cooling and
I
pleasant
do.
or not.
Hey,
They'll get little. They
no.
don't call pipes pipes anymore. Do you know what they call pipes now?
What?
A piece.
Bowls?
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, I call it, of course, you call it piece. No, you don't call bowls pieces, man. You call bowls, and you call rigs or bongs pieces. Like, it's my
No, you
piece.
call pipe.
Check
They
it
call.
out.
Okay, well, at least around here, the young people call pipes pieces. Now, there's no reason to call a pipe a piece because it's called a pipe because it's a pipe.
No, you don't call a pipe anymore, man. You don't call it a piece either. You call a pipe a bowl. A piece is like a bong, like.
Now, look, a bowl is a quantity. You can pack a bowl. You can pack a fat bowl. You can pack a little
Check out my
bowl.
bowl. No,
The bowl is part of the smoking utensil. This is a bowl. This is a drop
well,
bowl.
yeah, it is. But when somebody pulls out a glass piece, which I also call a piece, it's a bowl. Look, check out my new glass bowl.
Those things are called pipes, Tim. They have a name. They're pipes. This is a bowl,
Yes.
and this is a bong. And those are the only three words you need.
You're so
And joints,
bold, man.
too.
You can call it so many things.
Okay, I concede. I concede to your youthful vernacular.
I don't
I
know.
guess I
yeah.
guess the young people are leaving me behind with their new words for drugs.
Pieces shoot bullets.
Exactly. If you're carrying a piece, you should
Top
be.
Gun shirt, motherfucker.
I mean, but that's the thing. It already has a meaning, right? Colloquially, it means a gun. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
a marijuana pipe.
When someone says they've got their piece on them, you better know exactly what he's talking about, because your situation could turn out very differently in about 30 seconds.
Is your stoner friend, is it a stoner friend, or is your friend named Taylor? That's the question in that situation.
Are they mutually exclusive?
If you know that your friend Taylor is like totally wants to get down and smoke some tree, and he's like, yo, I got my piece, you know.
Is Taylor suggesting that he makes a gun that's both a gun and a pipe? That makes sense to me.
Yes, Eric, that is exactly what he is suggesting.
That makes a lot of sense.
No.
Because when you're about to take the kill shot at 1,000 yards, there's a stag off in the distance.
No, don't do that.
Like that.
Grab it.
Oh man,
You grabbed it.
I don't know what to say to that. Can we agree that a pipe, called a piece, it's called a bowl, and it is usually glass?
You are going to cut yourself. You and your whole family have an awful history with knives and being able to use them.
What are you looking at?
What is this picture? I like this. Now kiss.
Yeah. The first
I
one
live.
we're trying to pretend that didn't happen.
He probably didn't mean to do it.
He didn't mean to do it, but he was bleeding everywhere. You can't just ignore that. Like he tried to. He tried really hard to pretend he wasn't bleeding everywhere.
He had put enough pressure on it to get to do that.
I never forget when Christmas was the funniest. I gave him that blade sharpener.
Why?
Because he had knives. He liked knives.
You
so I
just
got
did
him
it to
a
be a
blade.
bitch.
I let him. No, I didn't think he was going to cut himself.
Hello and welcome to
Well,
Talking with Fam.
I kind of thought after I let him open it before we went to Aunt Lou's, I was like,
I hung a dry erase board.
I see you did. Good job.
Nick kind of helped.
And it kind of helped. You did it, didn't you?
Nuh-uh.
We leveled it together.
We held each other's dicks while we put the level on.
Oh, I just fucking sneezed my brains out, man. Shit.
Why did you do that silently?
I muted myself. Yo,
Oh.
you know, I had a piece, a bowl or whatever, and it was the shape, like, it had like 6 or 7 different chambers, and it was like a revolver piece. So you could like pack a bunch of bolts, and you could spin it around when each was done. It was pretty tight. It was metal too.
Where are you getting along with?
Stuff to help you work it.
That was a tight one.
That record. I already sold that. Don't break it.
The more bolts, the merrier.
My back hurts.
Okay.
Me.
Eric, what are you looking at, dude? Oh, shit. What are you looking at, man? Fucking, it's not me.
Hey, how far is Wyoming? It's like the same distance as Colorado to Kansas or Colorado to LA. Colorado,
Wyoming from where?
on Earth. I know. Why do you want to go to Wyoming? Oh, I gotcha. Well, I already griped at Nick, and he's not solving my problems. I guess he's solved a couple of them.
Yes, sir.
I forgot that I told Mommy when we would get home, I would call her.
You did.
Yeah.
All right. Take it out in your room, please.
Okay, I'll go.
There you go. That's right.
Sorry, Mom, we have to go all the time.
I'm sure the most mature one between two of them.
Man, where did sayings come from, man? Like, who was the first person to say the fact of the matter is blank? Like, when did that become common terminology?
I have often thought about that one too.
It's a debate
Fact of
thing.
the matter is blank.
A lot of those things are debate or legal things.
I feel like, in my opinion, I just think that
Mm-hmm.
it's probably because of the phrases like that that we have unnecessary phrases like the fact of the matter.
There's a lot of more unnecessary ones that aren't really coming to me right now, but they're out there.
Huh?
Like, and we phrase it so
Yeah.
weird sometimes.
They all have a.
I believe this is my response to this guy. I think he's an ESTP. He's talking about how, bro, you just gotta meet this one chick in the club, have a drink there, go to the other club, meet this other girl there, like a bee, go from flower to flower. It's called fulfilling. What about when you go to home to put your bed on the pillow and think about stuff? Possible answers. Number 1, too tired to think, man. I'm already asleep. Number 2, I'll come home with a hottie. I won't be thinking, what are the chances of you doing something like this? Only when Mars, Jupiter, and Pluto align, I guess. Number 3, I will be thinking about the possible other girls I'll meet tomorrow. Since a long time in this certain club, I was seeing this other girl. I think it's about time for me to hit her. Not something like, I did this, now it's complete, and now I'm happy. It's always starting something new, more than perfect completion. Well, that is really, really great stuff there, Demon Windu. I believe that you intend here to contrast your baller ways against the sometimes reflective nature of the NTP. You are, I imagine, an ESTP? Do your thing. I'm confident that you can find individuals who will be impressed by this. Fairly gentle on him. No point in arguing with an ESTP. It's like, but my truck's so big. Yeah, it sure is. Your truck's very big. I know we are all very impressed with you.
You know those weird things where people get those giant holes in their ears? Those gauges?
I hate that shit.
Why the fuck do people do that, man? Is it the same reason people get big trucks? Because they have tiny dicks? Or is there another reason?
I think it is as simple as really bad, really short-sighted SE. Like people go, oh, I want to make a statement. I want people to look at me and go like, wow, that dude's hardcore. That the notion of that only appeals to you for a couple of years of late adolescence. And if you can get through there, you're probably not going to start doing that. But once you start doing it, you get kind of locked in because it's not like, it's not like you're going to be like, okay, well there, now that's it. I've made these stupid things in my head. I put these stupid unnecessary holes in my head. So now I'm cool. No, because the rush of being badass and showing everybody how hardcore you are lasts about 5 fucking minutes. Then you gotta either be more hardcore or admit to yourself that was a bad fucking idea.
Here's a guy I know. His name's Nate. He was a fucking pussy, man. Like he tried to act like he was hard in high school. He was a fucking pussy, like a big pussy, more of a pussy than I am. So anyway, this kid gets gauges when he's like a fucking freshman in high school. He's such an idiot, right? Here he's smoking cigarettes, pretending he's a cool kid. When he's like a senior, man, it must have been last year. I mean, the last year of high school. His right or left, one of them, his ear literally broke because of his gauges.
Oh my god, I'm even working on here. Hey, fucking awful.
Literally broke. After months, he got it put back in, man. So he's still walking around with double gauges after his ears healed. You fucking believe that shit?
So fucking stupid. Like, I'm gonna really still like this 30 years from now. No, you're not. You are not gonna be glad you did that 30 years from now.
Dude, after his ear fucking snapped.
Alright, don't talk about it anymore. It grosses me out.
But new topic.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, yeah, this has been our conversation about memory. I hope you enjoyed it.
Recording.
It was all we did such a great job. Host Sam, you and I combined, we are as topical as a couple of ENTJs on crack.